shadows and the stories of the promised land. Now take our place beyond.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth. Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Welcome, everybody. Here we are at the Risen Rampage Premade Grand Finals. I am the Doctor, and I'm being joined by Beatdown Boulevard. How you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great. Super excited to be here casting the finals here. And honestly, with both semifinals being pretty bangers of matches, I can only imagine this finals can be even better.
I don't know if you're familiar with the conservation of energy, but you can only get out what you give in. There's no energy wasted. And so if the semifinals were good, we're in for a good finals. And these teams are picking, banning, making everything the way they want it to be. And I'm pretty excited just based off of the bans, not even talking about the picks so far.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. We're already seeing, a lot of pretty good bans out here. We're seeing the Ornn taken from OutKast, and honestly, they have in the past liked to run it a lot, so it makes sense you want to get rid of it. But OutKast looks like they aren't really bothered by it, and they actually managed to snag an MF Leona bot lane, which is honestly, it's pretty strong. We like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, so far, it's only power picks. Power picks only is the name of the game. We got Misfortune Leona on the bottom lane, Varus Tom Kench on the bottom lane, Trundle going wherever he wants as the Troll King pleases, and Set is just... How this champion isn't permabanned is just simply beyond me. There's so much utility in that kit, and he's too good. That Haymaker comes out, and it's like Conor McGregor beating on a grandma. It's just too much.
Yeah, it really is too, and I like it. We see the Kassadin ban from OutKast as well. A lot of late game carry champions just being removed here, and I do like this Set pick in the first wave as well, just because again, it's that flex pick. This dude could be literally anywhere. We just know he's not going to be support because there is the Leona. But either way, last wave of bans are coming out here. No Galio, says Team World Class Blue, and no Vel'Koz.
Are you telling me you don't know about the dreaded top lane Leona?
Oh God, no, I've heard and seen more than my fair share of support top lane. I'm trying to remove it from my brain. I don't want to look at it anymore.
You build a Trinity Force and just imagine Freak screaming from the heavens, tons of damage, but now we have Kled. And I gotta be honest with you, Kled Set is not a matchup I personally am familiar with, but I know that Kled is just... He's sick. He's a dirty gerbil man, and I feel like Set would have had a struggle in the top lane against him. But so now that OutKast has picked Shen, do you really think we're going to get a jungle Set or a jungle Shen?
I think jungle Set is far more likely, as it is far more viable. Plus, I think Shen and Kled is a better matchup anyway. Still, that one is... Wait, now they have picked Vlad. I am back to confusion here. Okay, so it's definitely Set jungle. Very likely Vlad in the mid lane, Shen top. Yeah, that's where my money's going. And now we have... And I imagine, actually, Team World Class Blue know this as well. So they are very likely trying to pick their mid laner and basically deciding how they want to play into this Vlad. And it's going to be Sylas. Interesting.
So Sylas, so much healing, so much movement available to the squad. It's a very strong team World Class Blue have put together right now, and I would normally not have agreed with you on the Shen top. My personal experience is that he's very strong in the jungle, lots of utility. He can kind of freeform to 6 and be relevant, But when you have the opponent picking Kled, using that Twilight Shroud is just too good to pass up. You get to block all of those enhanced autos, and then you can restart your engage.
Yeah, that's right. Now we're just loading in as teams are actually going to do these bans. One thing I'm interested in too is OutKast are kind of... I like this balance between you have some early game power here with the Set, who is just good at pretty much any point in the game, but you have Vlad, who is... You're kind of waiting for him to come later in the game, really come online, and I wonder if that's why World Class Blue picks Silas here, because he has some pretty solid early game against someone like Vlad. He could steal his ultimate, which is probably going to be good for making some sort of plays as well, on top of the healing he already does for himself.
Yeah, I mean, there really is not a bad ultimate to steal with Silas right now. You know, sometimes you get a composition where you're like, Leona... I'm trying to think of like a bad composition. It'd be like Leona, Shen, Set, Nidalee, Jace would be like your team composition, and you pick Silas and you're like, man, I really only want like 2 of these. The rest of the team's kind of whatever. No, OutKast has 5 fully fledged ultimates, and Silas, with the amount of ability power he can build up, can just wreck a team with any combination of them. And if we get a team fight where he can steal multiple in one session, it's GG, lights out, go next.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. It's really interesting to see how these matchups are going to go through. And, well, I'm actually really curious what you think about the top lane matchup here between Kled and Shen. I imagine the Shen is going to want to be pretty not passive necessarily, but you don't want to look to trade too much with the Kled.
No, you're definitely right. Kled, very early on, lots of high pressure. You know, he does get those empowered auto attacks that deal % health damage. His first item is probably going to be the Blade of the Ruined King. It was recently buffed, so it is, you know, doing quite well in the top side. I can't think of a champion that doesn't build it. I wouldn't be too surprised if even Shin built it this game. I've definitely played that before. But I mean, early on, Shen, not very tanky, can get exploded very easily, and Kled is one of those champions that if they get a very early lead, really snowball out of control, almost near infinite scaling, and is a very good champion with this composition to get engaged on, because you have the Kled ultimate, the charge, you get in Silas coming right behind it, Trundle right behind him, and then really awkward situation there is Trundle then subjugates the Shen or the Leona with her Eclipse buff, and then what do? Like, your Leona then has negative stats and just gets annihilated.
Which is a really interesting interaction there too, and still though, that's why I do believe Shen will very likely still stick to the, you know, the usual traditional tanky build, just because again, like, building damage, it's going to be hard to trade with Kled in the mid game, and I'm expecting too that Shen, you probably want Shen to be one of the tanky ones on the team, because you have Shen, you have Set, who's very likely going to go Cinderhulk, probably into Black Cleaver. So I'm expecting a lot of sustain out of OutKast's team, and you're really just going to be relying on the Vlad, on the MF to do the serious damage for the OutKast squad.
And so as we head into our spectator delay, real quick, I do want to point out that the final composition for Team OutKast was Set top, Shen jungle, Vladimir mid, misfortunately on a bottom lane. And so that was my initial reaction once I saw the picks. We just spent a good portion of our time talking about Shen top. But I don't think the game plan really changes, right? Like, yes, Set does have to eat the full Kled damage, but the Bramble Vest, obviously 900 gold or 1,000 gold away, kind of nullifies a lot of the Kled. But as we are heading into the champs, like, any final thoughts?
No, nothing. I gotta agree with you there. Set and Shen, I just put their names together, swapping lanes like that. Again, it doesn't really change much. I imagine the only difference being Set's going to want to build that Blade of the Ruined King first. He talked about it, recently buffed, still a great item. But Shen, tanky, top jungle, doesn't matter. That's the goal.
All right, folks, we're going to take a short break while these teams put the game plans in motion. Stay tuned, guys. We got plenty of League of Legends action for you tonight, and I am so beyond excited to be bringing it to you live here from my bedroom. So stay tuned, folks. Welcome back, everybody. The Doctor and Beatdown Boulevard bringing you the action here at the Risen Rampage Premade Grand Finals. The players are on the Rift. They're leaving the base. This is bound to be a barn burner, and I am so excited. I keep saying it. They're pinging the cleanse on the Kench. You can't clean the frog, but oh man.
At least you can clean the Leona stun. That's definitely what's going on through his mind there. You don't want to just allow her to be stunning you for free all the time, but at the same time, once that's down, it does mean easy pickings. We actually have a little level 1 skirmish here between our top laners, and I actually think, nope, just a little bit of a handshake. They're both gonna back.
Yeah, I was actually a little curious how that level 1 was gonna go. Obviously, Bear Chop on the rope, the first start for the Kled. Reese's Pieces knows the game plan, but the Haymaker start from Balls, I'm not totally unsurprised, but I don't know. I don't play a lot of set top, so I'm not sure if that's the actual game plan level 1.
I'm gonna have to go with probably not. I feel like these guys were just egoing each other. Neither of them probably wanted to take that skirmish, but them ending up trading like that, and both of them are gonna make it to lane and not actually lose any XP, because you can see the waves are only just crashing now, and I feel like it was just almost like a handshake between two grand finalists.
Yeah, definitely some respect there. They're playing 2 Feast or Famine champions. Actually, I say that, and they're both pretty Feast or Feast champions. It's pretty hard to put them in a rough spot.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. And it looks like we're actually gonna see junglers start on opposite sides of the map, though both are gonna be starting on their blues. Thatton on the Trundle is probably looking to make his way top. You know, Trundle's an early ganker, so gets some instant value pretty much once he becomes level 3. He's gonna be looking to gank Balls here.
Oh man, Reese's Pieces doing so much damage so early on.
And he's still there.
Yeah, why not hang out? What do you lose? Weak sauce
Maybe your
though.
life?
You know. Eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. Trundle just kind of throwing down the pillar. Just a drive-by. Nothing to be too scared of. But yeah, I mean, Reese's Pieces, you know, he's in the mini form. He has to build up back to the Scarl. But one more auto attack. Oh, it wasn't in time! We saw the animation come through and it still wasn't enough! First blood over to Balls in the top lane. It has been a long time since anyone has heard that. Shout out to C9.
And the thing about that gets me too is that I think the animation going off means, oh, that's it, he got him. He's gonna kill the set, but Balls just gets it right on time. And that's a really important kill to start off here. That gives him an experience lead here against the set. Oh, sorry, against the Kled, excuse me.
And, you know, we said feast or feast. Set really is that type of champion. He's going to be maxing that Haymaker, doing tons of true damage to whoever can really, you know, dare to challenge him. We can see Weak Sauce Jr. always on the offensive, pushing buttons, gets the CC in. Trundle Pillar comes down. The Vlad Pool is in time. The Flash burned as well, however, definitely respecting the re-engage there for Weak Sauce.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you could kind of almost see that Thatton was actually backing off already. The Flash didn't need to be committed, and that means that he has to be far more careful now, because Talon isn't going to have that available to him here. But we're going to see Balls. Wow, he's actually really going in here, but because of the big minion wave, he does have to respect it. And the fact that Thatton is also here.
Satan joining in. The teleport coming in from Shallan, though. It gets canceled by Silas, which means Balls is all on his own in the top side. Doesn't matter, though. They disengaged already.
And this is actually really huge. No kills top as a result, but now Challen has both his summoner spells blown. If he gets forced to back, he doesn't get that teleport to come back in lane. So Weak Sauce if he gets the better of him in one engage, he can actually be able to pull ahead in the experience game here, and that's actually really important to look for. And also worth noting that we're actually getting a bit of invade here from Electrify House. He's there taking the wolves from that because he knows he has to back after that previous engage.
And a bit of an engage down in the bottom side. BB on that Leona, trying to make ADC life the premonition that is typed out to be, but he is now on the Lethality Varus. How do you know it's Lethality Varus, you ask? It's because he has Comet. That
I was gonna say,
picked up by those Lethality Varus who spam the piercing arrows. Reese's PC's hanging out in the mid lane on a ward, unfortunately. And so we're just gonna get the puddle there, wasting so much time.
wow.
This
He actually managed to dodge the bear trap.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this time spent out of lane. Balls is loving the free time.
Still not the worst. Reese's Pieces managed to push the wave all the way to Balls' tower, so he isn't going to lose too much experience as a result, but already being slightly behind you, maybe not the best time to do that, but either way, pretty even so far. We actually have BB roaming mid here, so Vsauce has to be really careful of that stun, but interestingly enough, he might just end up stealing that Leona ultimate, because he is 6 already on that Silas.
Yeah, and he hasn't backed yet either, which is pretty crazy. You know, he still has 1,400 gold in the bank. Probably going to be going for the Protobelt?
Yeah. Protobelt's usually the play there on Silas.
Alright, Showstopper comes out. Zaytan, though, running it down. Gets the Trundle Pillar. Balls has to get away, but with no flash available. The Haymaker's all he's got, and Reese's Pieces gets the kill, putting himself on the board finally. And so now Vsauce Jr. once again just slamming home how much damage the Silas can do, being able to stay healthy the whole while.
And you love to see that top side, especially if you're the jungler Thad and you kill the set after he blows the flash. Balls maybe didn't need to use that one. That was a tough situation to get out of, but either way now, both summoners are down, so that could be another good gank top lane here. But now you have to imagine these teams are going to set up for this dragon. It's been up for a few minutes now, and we actually see Leona and the Shen going a little deep into the jungle there, but they're spotted out by the pink ward. Not sure if they actually saw it in the brush. Oh, BB actually is looking to try and potentially make a play here on the Trundle.
TP coming in, Tom Kench over the wall with the thing. Rain comes out along with the bullet time, but you cannot save the ninja. He was simply too loud in the footsteps. And with the jungler down, that should mean Dragon going over to Team World Class Blue. And it's an Ocean Drake. That's probably one of my personal favorites.
Oh, I definitely agree with you there, but this confirms it isn't the Ocean Soul, which is arguably the strongest, especially in my opinion. So that is one thing to worry about, but knowing the next one is Cloud means we can expect either Infernal Soul or Mountain, two very good Dragon Souls in their own right. So these next couple of Dragons are going to be super important here for both teams as we see a skirmish here in the top lane.
And that bonus move speed coming in so importantly for Reese's PCs, able to dodge out on the majority of the Haymaker damage, and that seems to be what is making the deciding factor in these fights. The Haymakers comes out, it doesn't connect, and so then Reese's Pieces gets to survive. If it connects, he's dead. If it misses, he usually survives.
And good on him for managing to avoid it in that scenario here. With the Silas, probably will want to try and get mid prio for Thad in here so they can try to make a play at Herald, especially with such a nice trade there on to Challen. Gets him super chunked out.
That Challen, though, is Vladimir, so he will be healing up eventually. And we talked about the itemization here on the top side. Obviously, Blade of the Ruined King in the pocket of Set, but I'm curious why you think Kled went for the Hydra pickup. You know, obviously it's going to be Titanic Hydra eventually, but alright, Scarl in the meantime joining time, but the mid lane under siege as well. Shalon blowing the ultimate, trying to stay healthy. Reese's Pieces looking for the re-engage, misses the bear trap on the rope, however, and we saw Balls. That was actually a little sneaky. He walked forward in the lane because he wanted to showstopper Reese's into the tower.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And to your earlier question, Reese's Pieces probably wants to build a little bit more in the HP category. It seems like building the Tiamat, very likely going to the Titanic Hydra. It probably means you will get, because you will get damage based on the HP you get. So yeah, this tells me that he wants to build himself to be a little tankier than usual, especially because he very likely wants to match the Set, who's also going to do the same once he's built that port.
Yeah, and the sound cue there means that the Reptile has been slain. It's being picked up by Thaden on that Trundle pickup. He's been doing a really good job with these objective controls. They got the Ocean Dragon, now the Herald, whereas Shen has kind of been power farming, now hitting that level 6 mark.
Yeah, that's right, and suddenly you have to be more careful of the dives. You know the Shen ultimate is available here. Speaking of, we got a potential tower dive onto Balls here, and Thaden's actually going to summon the Herald as well.
So much shielding coming through. Haymaker not enough, but we saw Weak Sauce Jr. channel the Shen ultimate as well. They end up getting the first kill on 2 Balls. The ultimate coming out, and that is another kill coming out for Reese's Pieces. 2-1-1 on the scoreboard. The tower will survive. They will not be able to take it just yet. Jalan making his way downtown, just trying to defend the tower. But yeah, really nice tower play there.
And a lot of that is because of the Silas managing to get Fryo off of the earlier really good trade there for the Weak Sauce Jr. What that means is that he can roam top, and even though we get the Shen ultimate out from Electrify House, that's a 3v2. So of course we're still going to see that Team World Class Blue are going to win out that trade in the end, and this is great for Reese's Pieces because again, that's just more money in his pocket, more than we can say for Balls on the Set at the moment.
Yeah, and so we've been talking about Team West Coast, World Class Blue.
There you go.
But you know, they have a very early focused comp, which is why they're ahead in the early game. You know, they have this Lethality Varus that doesn't scale very well. They have the Kled, who is very early abusive. But I mean, Team OutKast has a Vladimir, one of the best scaling champions in the game. We'll have to see if he can get the fight down here. He is going to be getting ganked by Thay10, but don't worry, Electric House is here as well. The ultimate from Weak Sauce goes out, chains in a new one. But yeah, I mean, this Vladimir ultimately scaling. Set, big scaler as well. Misfortune depends on how you want to call it.
Well, you pretty much got a fair point. You're really banking on this Vladimir to come online in the late game for the side of OutKast. But like we talked about in the draft, they still have some early game powerhouses. Of course, we talked about Set, good at any point in the game, and can definitely hold his own 1v1 against Reese's Pieces, as we've been seeing here. And in this, even in this skirmish as well, constantly going even with him in the 1v1. Misfortune, pretty good early and mid. Of course, late game she gets really strong, but that applies to a lot of ADCs. But it's the so these early things can not necessarily carries, but these early strengths can offset that bit of early ineffectiveness from Challen on this Vlad. And we're actually going to see a pretty big invade here. No, it looks like it's actually just going to be Thatten.
Yeah, did just want to take that blast cone over the wall so that it's not an option to try and steal, which now forces Electric to either burn the taunt or the flash to get in the pit. But with it already down to 3rd HP, I don't see him getting in there. Chalan, though, is challenging the Dragon. They can burn it down here. Dragon is going down. TP comes in from Reese's Pieces. Set, meanwhile, hammering away on that top tower. Weak Sauce Jr. did lose the Vladimir ultimate. It timed out. You do only steal them for limited time only.
Imagine if you could hold it the entire, like, as long as you wanted. I feel like that'd be pretty broken.
I feel like there must have been an early iteration where that was true. Because, but we hear the Count Dracula music comes out. Not going to connect. Thay10, though, with the big pillar. Throws down the Subjugate as well, and he is running after it. But the call coming in for Reese's Pieces to fall back. Doesn't want to tower dive just yet.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for it. Smart to back off. But you get the Sense Flash out, which is important. Balls definitely can't go balls to the wall as much as he would like.
All right. Edith carry throws out the chain disruption. Is going so very low. Kitty Lex are gonna eat him up, and now we'll get the tongue lash. Truck's main flashes, though. Did not want to fight the catfish. The frog has been unclogged for now, but still.
Yeah, that was a worthwhile flash from Trucks. They get hit by that tongue from the Tom Kench, immediately dead. The Varus was nearby. ADC would have absolutely just loved to get that kill, and that's the danger when you have the roaming with BB going into other lanes. The thing is, it's easier for Kitty Lexa to roam because of the ultimate there, Abyssal Voyage. So things you got to be careful of here.
Yeah, and it's actually a really interesting fight. Weak Sauce Jr. always has the Trundle pocket available. That wasn't what I was thinking was interesting. I thought the trade in the bottom lane was interesting. You know, when you think of one-on-one 80 carries, I don't think of Varus into Misfortune. I definitely feel like Misfortune should win that.
He was. That's the thing. That's why we saw Abyssal Voyage had to be used by Kitty Lexa, because otherwise that's a completely different scenario there. So it's honestly a good ultimate there from the Tom Kench. And we actually see that now that the second Herald is coming up. They're probably
Weak
trying
Sauce
to make...
Jr. getting blown up a little bit, heals up a little bit from the charge there. Forced to protobot away, but so very low. Flash for flash, gonna stay alive. Transfusion, not enough. Balls, showstoppers in. Maintain's gonna flash out. Chains of Corruption, keeping them away. The Herald still alive. All right. Lots of information to be taken in, but now Balls has been separated from the team. The pinch maneuver is in force. And so now Phaeton has to get in, but with 5 full members here in favor of OutKast, I have to imagine that this is going to be their Rift Herald, and it looks like the call to fall back has come through, because meanwhile, this entire time, Reese's Pieces is just running through the bottom lane.
That's right, and we can see Ball's actually going for the back to get him, and oh wow, we got a trade here mid lane.
Yeah, another big engagement. We're starting to see Chelon come online, being able to just throw out these transfusions. There's so much damage, and Weak Sauce is in a spot where he has to be aggressive, right? He only gets to heal if he can land the W onto an opposing champion.
Yeah, and it is tough. It's exactly like you said. The Vlad is starting to become a bit of a threat here. You can see Challen is starting to win out a lot more on these trades with Weak Sauce Jr. So Weak Sauce has to be a little more careful. And that's why you mentioned that Thatton has been doing a lot of babysitting almost for Weak Sauce Jr. Yeah, you want to get this Vlad as far behind as possible because you want to delay that timer for when he comes online and give you more time to win the game. It makes sense. But Challen's actually been doing a really good job of avoiding that and just farming. He actually has a CS lead, just isn't likely leading in gold because Silas does have the 2 kills under his belt.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and take a look at the gold charts here. Pretty much what you would expect. Advantage to Reese's Pieces in top lane, who is just annihilating this trade up until he wasn't. Reese's Pieces getting kicked off the horse, but it's okay. There's plenty of Skarls in the sea. We will be getting that back shortly. But what a weird trade coming through. It definitely looked all in Reese's favor. And then all of a sudden, he just stopped doing damage, it looked like. But now, the action is non-stop here, folks. Chelon getting engaged upon Weak Sauce. Gets the ultimate out of Chelon. But so now they're just going to be able to disengage with that phase rush, with that pool. And now the Infernal Drake's on the table. No teleport for Reese's Pieces, so he has to run down here for this. They need this dragon to go on to Soul Point.
Yeah, that's right. If you're OutKast, you don't want that to happen under any circumstances. Having that 3rd dragon is so much pressure there for the enemy side if they know that you have it here. And wow, Challet getting chunked even lower than before.
Yeah, Weak Sauce using that stolen ultimate to get the advantage. Taunt is going to connect on the Kitty Lexa. The Leona coming in as well. Make it rain, keeping the slow pressure on. Tongue Lash not going to connect. Here comes the Chains of Corruption into the Hail of Arrows, into the Kled! Kled's in the backline, taking out Truck's main. Heal, Flash, not enough! 2 kills in favor of Team World Class, and the 3rd is not long behind. Double kill for Reese's Pieces. Balls forced to flash the wall. He's going to get pillared up. Chelon and Balls, the only ones remaining. Satan falling out, and Chelon is going to get taken down for the ace. triple kill for Reese's Pieces, and that is going to be the Infernal Drake going their way as well.
And not only that, Doctor, that is Soul Point here, and it's Infernal Soul, no less. We got a lot of damage still available on the side of Team World Class Blue here. You add the damage you get from the Infernal Soul, it is going to be tough for OutKast to overcome this one. So these next 4 Drakes have to go to them now if they don't want that to happen. And it's a tough position to be in here too. Not to mention that now this allows Team World Class Blue to push in pretty much every lane. And with the Baron spawning now, they can start to pressure it as well. Not necessarily take it, but with the waves in the state that it's in, it's not bad if your Team World Class Blue, you might be able to get it done.
And the benefit that OutKast has, if they can claim the Soul, means that they have 4 Infernal Drakes backing it. That's so much damage. But Reese's Pieces, man, I feel like the Cled's just so far ahead. Obviously, the triple kill makes it look super far ahead, but even before that fight, he was 2-1-3.
Yeah, still ahead of his opponent Balls, and you can see now he's already built the Black Cleaver. He's just holding on to the Tiamat. Might be looking to build the Titanic Hydra later. Yeah, I just saw him buy the Joram Fist, so that's definitely next on his to-do list. Buying Tiamat early for the wave clear very obviously has paid off for him. And in general, yeah, across the map, you can see the second item coming online here from ADC in 2020. It's gonna be Yomu's Ghostblade, but what's interesting enough is if you look at Truck's main on the Misfortune, is just rocking the Berserker Greaves with 2 BF swords.
Yeah,
Not entirely sure what the strategy is there.
the strategy right now is to kill Balls. They're gonna go in, Haymaker out, the stolen ultimate. Okay, here comes the Shen ultimate. The Weak Sauce Jr. very low. What's now? Thetan is stuck in a rock and a hard place. Balls using that Conqueror to stay healthy. And I missed who Showmokered first, but we actually saw Reese's Pieces teleport in with the Vladimir ultimate already on. Interesting play from Shalon. But Balls survived, actually. That's crazy to me. I don't understand that at all.
Because you know what? It's the shield from his double Haymaker and also the Shen ultimate here. But speaking of Shen,
Shen is gone, dusted, blocked, dead, still alive, now dead. Domination coming in from Reese's Pieces, and this Kled is off the charts tanky. There is not a whole lot to be done. Not only does he have Grievous Wounds on his Bear Trap on a rope, he also built Executioner's Calling. Balls definitely not going to survive that one. Haymaker can't even complete. That's retribution for earlier on the First Blood.
yeah, it's gotta be. Reese's Pieces on this Kled is back with a vengeance. So strong at the moment. You gotta imagine those 2 kills likely got him enough money to probably back and go for that Titanic Hydra. And they're also gonna get the first tier 2 in the game here. This is really good for them too. They're making their way up through the jungle. They actually might want to collapse on this Misfortune here.
Yeah, it definitely is the play. Chains of Corruption
my
gonna
God.
connect into the Chains of Doom. Weak Sauce Jr. continuing his reign of terror. Now 3-0-5. Doesn't even need to steal an ultimate. He's just gonna dash in, dash out, dash in again. Because Silas is tricky. You know, for a mage, he's pretty fit.
Yeah, dude definitely works out, takes care of himself. It's definitely something to the tune of if you keep your body as healthy as possible, maybe it makes you a better mage. Just spitballing here.
Good question. Is there an out-of-shape mage in League of Legends?
See, that's how depends how you define out of shape. Like, I really doubt there are any mages that are like grossly out of shape, but I imagine just even people who are skinny can technically be out of shape. You know, they can't run more than a couple 100 meters and they just are gassed for quite some time.
I suppose it depends on mage too, right? Like, Gragas has explosive wine. Like, that's definitely not like chemical. That's magic.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that is a good point here. Now, it actually looks like Team World Class Blue are just trying to snag the Baron here, but I think this is for a turn. They want to get OutKast here into the river and take this fight. You see the 2 hiding in the bush.
And so they do have the Leona ultimate available for Weak Sauce Jr. The tanks, though, are gonna get got. Here comes BB getting in. Big stun onto the Misfortune. Already taken out. Weaksauce Jr. rampaging in the backside. Reese's Pieces already taken on Scarlet, but he has friends. Weaksauce Jr. going in once again. It is the Silas's turn. The Haymaker coming out, not gonna complete the showstopper, canceled as well. And so now Weaksauce Jr. with a triple kill. Shalon, the only one surviving, running for the hills. And that could be the Baron turnaround now. We already see multiple members going up there. Very plonking Abyssal Voyage. But
Yeah.
what's key about this though is not only do they get the Baron, they get Dragon Soul because Shalon is only one man and he's about to die. But he would have had to decide. Yeah, he would have had to decide between forcing them off of Baron or forcing them off of the Infernal Soul. And because Weaksauce Jr. isn't needed at either objective, he's just like, nah, go away.
You don't get to do either one of those things, but honestly,
Oh, no. Oh no. Weaksauce Jr. gonna get shut down in the end. Kinda played with his food a little too much.
But here's the thing, they're actually really chunked on the side of red team ball, but it looks like they aren't going to try to go for it. The channels are too quick. They're just going to be content with denying one Baron buff there from Weaksauce Jr. But I gotta say the real problem here is that the Infernal Soul has been acquired by Team World Class Blue. Not only that, we're looking at a 7k gold lead here. So many items online for everybody involved on Team World Class Blue. You see the Titanic Hydra has been completed. You can see now Serrated Dirk into Executioner's Calling on top of the two already built items for the Varus here on the side of Team World Class Blue. This is just really tough here if you're OutKast. It's gonna be really difficult for them to come back. First thing on their mind, you gotta survive the siege that is about to come here from Team World Class Blue and start setting your eyes on the Elder Dragon.
Bear trap on a rope gonna land on the balls. Haymaker already spent. Showstopper brings him a little bit closer to the tower, but not close enough. Reese's Pieces not safe. He could be going down shortly. Blade of the Ruin King already sent. That is the stopwatch being spent. And the Haymaker doesn't get the true damage. Scarl comes back in. And that is going to be legendary for Kled. And so now the bees are not long. They are endangered. They will soon be extinct, just like Weaksauce Jr. He is dead and dusted. And Reese's Pieces showing why Kled can be so annoying.
And that is a really tragic fight here. Here's the thing, Feast or Famine, like we mentioned in the beginning, Balls is that on the set. He was one ability away from managing to get that shutdown on Reese's Piece and net himself 1,000 gold there off of it, but unfortunately he doesn't. Isn't going to be able to complete that second item even. He has the Bramble Vest, that Crystal, and the Caulfield's Warhammer, but it's not enough. He needs to do more damage to the Kled, but it's going to be so hard with how built Reese's Pieces is at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, Reese's Pieces going for the Guardian Angel shortly has 2 of the 3 pieces. Granted, the 2 cheaper pieces, but they do add up eventually. And he's now in a position where he can just be aggressive. Be aggressive. He's just going to keep running it down these lanes until somebody tries to stop him.
And it's going to be really hard because not a whole lot of people can, Doctor. This man is so powerful right now. You got to imagine that's going to be the final tier 2 for OutKast going down. And I don't see a world where at least one inhibitor doesn't go down here as a result of this push.
We are going to have to wait and see and engage, though. Like, the Baron has now timed out. Wave clear is now an option. Haymaker, though, spent very early on. I know it's a wave clear tool, but you gotta let it up to your ranged carries, I feel.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're just desperately trying to clear. You want to keep your inhibitor turrets from going down here if you're the side of OutKast. So they managed to weather the storm of this Baron buff, but now there's so much deep vision here from Team World Class Blue. It's going to be really tough for OutKast to actually walk around on their side of the map, and that's going to be a really crucial part of getting to the Dragon Pit for that Elder Dragon. We're looking at 2.5 minutes now, Doctor.
And as most of us know, the Elder Dragon does what exactly?
Well, the Elder Dragon gives you stat buffs pretty much across the board. And not only that, that is an execute. At 20% of your HP, you just instantly die. And a really cool dragon sound comes out too.
It's very loud. So
It
those
is.
headphone users, beware. I know
Yeah.
Joe on the production site does have his finger on the volume trigger, but sometimes he falls asleep at the wheel, and we deafen one or two of our viewers. But, you know, just live with it. Tinnitus isn't that bad, but the engage is now pretty bad if you're world-class fanatic. Football is though gonna get the showstopper. He's not long for the world. Make it rain, and the bullet time coming out, dealing no damage whatsoever. Scarl is heading for the hills. Guardian Angel is completed for Feces, and he is just gonna keep playing aggressive. The arrow piercing the souls of Shalon. Not quite enough to send him to the grave though, but that gives so much literal movement available for World Class Blue.
That was really tough too. If not for Kitty Lexa, Weak Sauce would have definitely lost his life there. But looking forward,
Huge! 2-1! Here comes the face breaker as well. The Guardian Angel has been popped. Scarl coming back to save his friend. The flash dash away. Reese's Piece is gonna get caught once again. Haymaker coming through. They give the big fat shutdown over to their AD carry. Trucks main just trying to stay relevant. Does have multiple pieces of the Zeal, but it is still quite away from being able to cut through these tanks.
Still, that is a nice amount of gold to your Misfortune, who already has the IE and the Essence Reaver built. So now she can start building towards that third item, which we're already seeing begin now. We're gonna see the Varus at ADC in 2020 finish Edge of Night as well. Gonna give a little bit of HP to that Varus, but here we go. Doctor, this is the moment we're talking about. 20 seconds to the Elder Dragon. I would honestly say OutKast doesn't really have sufficient vision to take a good fight here, especially with Kitty Lexa starting to clear the vision that's already up there.
Yeah, Dragon now spawned, TP available for Vladimir on the top side. But they, again, you're right, they don't have any vision. And how can you fight what you can't see? It's like trying to fight a ghost. And I don't think OutKast have the iron rings that the Winchesters do.
Absolutely not. So they're probably gonna wish they had the Colt. Oh no, Sauce Jr.
Engage Weak Sauce Jr. forcing Truxmane already out of the fight, but he now is in a bit of an odd situation. 1v4 Kled coming in, and now the re-engage is on. Big Haymaker shield, but 80 carry 2020 in the backland, mowing people down. Shutdown onto Truxmane. 80 carry 2020 gonna survive before taking more lives. So now in a 1v4, Shalon goes down as well. The only one left alive is that Shen jungle. They're gonna ignore the dragon as well. They're gonna be pushing on through to the. Is it an objective? I think they're trying to win.
They're trying to end the game. Look at these spawn timers. Well, now it's down to 20 seconds, so they actually are probably just going to go for an inhibitor, maybe try to get their wave to the Nexus turret, but it's going to make it that much easier for them to get this Elder Dragon, because there's going to be a lot less contention if you think about it. These super minions are going to start coming out from the next wave, and look, we see Kitty Lexa take the Kled into the Dragon Pit with the Missile Voyage. These two are very clearly just enough. You can see the damage Reese's Pieces is doing to this, and this is really dangerous between that Super Minion wave, an already powerful team, and an Elder Dragon buff. This might be GG for game one here for both of these teams. It's going to take a monumental display of skill from OutKast to be able to win this one.
Electrify forced to taunt out, but he's getting chased down by Reese's Pieces. Weak Sauce Jr. says, I'm gonna kill the support jungle thing. I'm gonna get it. Reese's Pieces finally gonna go down, but not in time. Elder Dragon secured. Electrify on my screen. 80 carry gets one more kill, and with this buff, that is not long. One more auto. Bing, bang. They tan on a Rampage, and now Shalon is the only one cutting the wave, and now BB forced to run. My brain froze. I was trying to say something between, but not a tail. I was trying to think of something clever to go with the skin. Sunfire? No. Sunflower? I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
BB fire has been put out.
Oh, Weak Sauce Jr. just going in again. The Trundle Pillar gonna block off his own team, but it doesn't matter. Weak Sauce Jr. just able to dash in again, using that Dragon buff once again. Kitty Alexa leaving the game. Feitan leaving the game. They know it's over. The Nexus has exploded, and game one convincingly goes to World Class Blue.
And I gotta say, we were worried about whether or not OutKast were going to actually get Challen online on this Vlad, and you can see now he only just got to level 16, and he's been more or less kept at bay for most of the game. Wasn't able to do a whole lot per se, and I think a lot of this too is Team World Class Blue were really good with the macro, the map control. You always saw them, especially once those tier ones went down, start always placing deep vision, always punishing people who are mispositioning, like instances with Truck's main, with BB come to mind there for the side of OutKast. And they keep snowballing these kills into a bigger lead. And a lot of those kills ended up going to Reese's Pieces, who in the end got 4 items and an Executioner's Calling.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how impactful that the Kled could be, and, you know, Balls had a valiant effort early on, but then the repeated attention topside just made it really difficult for that champion set to survive. You know, it is really tough in that style matchup. Not any escapes, not any sustain. It's just a bad matchup realistically. But I mean, the Weak Sauce Jr. in the mid lane as well. I can't, you know, take anything away from him just being so aggressive, being so annoying with those dash-ins. You know, they just didn't seem to be an answer to try and cut through Weak Sauce's healing or just anything else he brought to the table.
Yeah, for sure. Weak Sauce played that matchup really well there. Again, landing a lot of skill shots, never overstaying his welcome, except for 1 or 2 times come to mind, but it's really nice in the mid to late game. You have a Tom Kench who can just gobble you up to almost erase your mistake a little bit and keep you alive and in the fight. And when you make few mistakes like that, it does make it a lot easier for you to win the game, especially when you cement such a strong lead early on.
All right, and as we are heading to a break in just a second, I do want to ask you one final question. Looking at these 2 team compositions that we just watched, do you expect pick ban to be changing as we head into game 2?
Oh, that's going to be tough. I think more than anything else, maybe OutKast look to ban the Kled. Other than that, I think most of their strategy in the draft isn't actually that bad. It just fell to a lot of execution when you actually got on the Rift.
All right, you heard it here, folks. We are going to be getting more League of Legends your way very soon. We're going to take a short break while the teams rejoin their composure. They're going to eat some bananas, get that potassium in their veins, and they are going to come back heated for game 2. So stay tuned, folks, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we are once again with the Rampage Risen Premade Finals. Best of 5 between OutKast and World Class Blue. The teams have now swapped sides, swapped encounters, and they're going to be going into Game 2 pick ban. I'm joined once again by Beatdown Boulevard, and these drafts are looking very similar, my friend.
Yeah, like I thought there. Again, it was a lot more on execution than draft being the issue here for the side of OutKast. So I can't imagine the bans are going to be largely different in any way. Again, maybe on that second wave they prioritize banning the Kled on the side of OutKast, but first wave, I doubt it. You still have the priority champions you don't want to see. The Rengar, the Olaf, the Syndra, all pretty strong right now.
Yeah, I mean, those are their exact bans from first rotations last game. The only difference so far is that Zed was banned away second rotation for World Class Blue. But as we can see here, the one that wasn't banned this time was the Ornn. They first banned that last time, and this time they knew that they would be able to pick it up. And I honestly cannot think of a stronger champion in today's meta.
Yeah, top lane. Yeah, Ornn is just insane. He could go 0-5 in lane and still be so useful in the mid-late game. It's just crazy, man. That level 13 being able to upgrade the item, your own items, upgrade the items of your teammates, like, it's crazy. And he just becomes so tanky too. As long as he can just keep up in experience, like, that's it. He'll be fine. He'll be so helpful.
Each one of those masterwork items being about 1,000 gold of advantage in stats, and it's just, why wouldn't you want to do that? But
yeah,
oh man, OutKast is just sending it. They get the Tarek Shyvana. Oh man, I'm excited. That is gonna be spicy.
It's really interesting. This is starting to look like the comp they ran on their first game in the semifinals here. We saw the Tarek and the Shyvana. I'm pretty sure that it was Ashe ADC as well, so I think that's probably where they're looking here. But it looks like we're going to see the Kassadin come out from Team World Class Blue. Now they're going to be betting on the late game carry style champion.
Oh man, they're just putting all the eggs in the basket too. Getting that Galio was banned away game 1. This is slowly coming together. We're going to see what they can do. Great ban on the Trundle, no more Subjugate. It does mean, however, that it's not available for them either, which means this Ornn can get as tanky as the world. They can just stack as many stats as they want.
Yeah, that's right. We also have the Galio in the mid lane there for OutKast. I really like that one too, into the Kassadin, because Galio is a bully. Especially towards mages. There's really no other way to put it here. And oh wow, the Vi last ban is interesting. Team World Class Blue haven't picked the jungler yet, and that's where they want to prioritize their last couple of bans. Oh, interesting. Team World Class Blue are actually going to ban the Ashe this time around, so it's not available for OutKast. And what I'm curious about is, we talked about it before the show started, Doctor. The Shyvana could be top lane.
That is true. There is a interesting lifesteal build going around solo queue, but oh no, it's Sona.
Thank God.
No, Monka S, not like this.
I don't know if that even works the way it used to.
What leads me to believe it doesn't is the changes to the support items that make it so that eventually you start getting a half gold. So instead of 14 on range creeps, you get 7. So I mean, like, I suppose it doesn't matter too much, because it's still gold and you're still a support, which means you're overpowered just statistically. And since the the Sona isn't the one that is farming the minions and is the more gold reliant of the two, I feel like it still works, just worse than it used to.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of the day, you're looking for that sustain when you play that kind of bot lane. It's going to be really weird to play against if you're Team World Class Blue. I can already hear the groans in their voices as they're looking at this draft at the moment. And interesting, last pick is going to be Master Yi. Not sure how I feel about that one.
So Oh man, this is cursed. This is a cursed draft, to be honest. So here is OutKast's game plan. They're gonna put Shyvana top, Galio mid, Tarek Sona bottom lane, Master Yi funnel jungle. And what's broken is that there's currently an interaction with Tarek Master Yi that if you join together and you start this, you start the stun on Tarek, and if you alpha strike, automatically you get stunned. There's zero way to avoid it as long as you alpha strike the target you intend. But you can also delay the ultimate from Tarek due to the alpha strike, which means that if you started a bad engagement as Master Yi, if you get the ultimate going, alpha strike, when you end your alpha strike, you're now invulnerable to auto attacks later, you can alpha strike again. It's just it's cursed. It's cursed.
I actually want to vomit. That sounds so gross. I take it back. Now I can hear Team World Class Blue just groaning, just being like, "Oh my God, what season are we playing in right now?" That's gonna be a really tough one.
But so what World Class Blue does have is they do have Ornn, the Mage, Death Knight, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Warrior, Enchanter, Tank, Bruiser, Wizard, Warlock, Priest, Assassin, Gunslinger, Druid, Shaman, Necromancer, Ninja, Gunslinger, Bard, Monk, Robot, Conjurer, Blacksmith, Mystic, Warden, God, Illusionist, Templar, Wizard to try and combat the curse that is OutKast's draft.
I'm sorry, were you just talking about Kassadin?
No, Ornn.
I'm sorry, it's just a lot of those things are kind of line up, so I was kind of like 50-50 on who to guess there, but but it could help. The knockup from that Call of the Forge God is going to be super impactful in these team fights. Really, at the end of the day, like it's how much farm are you going to be able to deny Master Yi? That's going to be the question here. The interesting thing is Graves in the jungle means he could get really aggressive. He has a really strong early game. Could look to invade, especially because, of course, I'm sure Team World Class Blue know what OutKast are trying to do here. So the idea is just you want Master Yi to be behind for as long as possible.
And they do have the composition to do it, right? Like they have the pretty fast clear in the Graves. They have the Misfortune Leona bottom lane once again that is lots of CC. The Ornn having CC as well. He's gonna build like 3 Bramble Vests to try and survive. Kassadin probably gonna get a Bramble Vest as well. Honestly, the whole team should just get Bramble Vest. There's no reason not to. It's only 1,000 gold.
Yeah, it's gonna be so useful in this scenario, and just I'm really curious. This team is gonna be really tough to kill, but I think the timer, in my opinion, is because when OutKast play this composition, they usually build Shyvana really tanky. Then later in the game, they go for Death Dance. I think if we get to that point, Doctor, pretty sure that's it. I don't think Team World Class are gonna be able to overcome it. I know we talked about Ornn and how crazy nuts busted he is, but it's more like it's like in the utility and its tankiness. So I don't know if that alone is gonna help here. If Kassadin gets to level 16, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, so the Ornn is good in traditional professional draft, right? Like he beats all of what we would consider top meta champions because he does what they do better. But one of the ways you can beat the meta is by breaking the meta. And that is definitely what OutKast is looking to go with this game. Master Yi is what we call a stat stick. And what that means is that he is useless until he hits a breaking point. Once that breaking point occurs, it's over. Like it's the boiling point of the volcano. Like right now, World Class Blue is Pompeii. They can either survive history and stop it before it breaks, or the volcano Master Yi is just end the city of Pompeii. And we'll be heading into a game 3 off of that result. But Master Yi has to get to that point.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. With these late game carries, especially with this style, it's all about just being on a timer. And if you're on the receiving end, it's how can you delay that timer to give you enough time to just win the game? Because when time runs out, that volcano is going to erupt. That's it.
And all right, folks, we are going to be getting the puzzle pieces together. We're going to be getting out our volcanic umbrellas. We're going to be doing our best to see if we can't survive history. But while we assemble all of our defenses, we're going to be taking a short break. So stay tuned, folks, and we'll be coming at you live with more grand final action here at the Rampage Risen Premade Rampage Risen Finals. Thank you, and stay here, please. Here we are, folks, with the most cursed draft you've ever seen live in Amateur League of Legends. I am the Doctor, being joined by Beatdown Boulevard, and our producer, Joe from Canada, because I feel like that's necessary to point out. But,
Yeah.
alright, so we're getting a 5-point start from both squads. Talk to me, Beatdown. What am I witnessing?
You're witnessing probably the cursed game I've ever had to cast of League of Legends. It's just because of this funnel composition we're seeing here. But yeah, it's interesting. The top lane Shyvana, not exactly a popular pick, but can definitely work in a couple of instances. Kind of like this one. Balls, if their past matches are any indication, Balls is very likely going to build tanky. And only build damage like late in the game if he manages to get ahead here. But it's really going to be important how you play that early game matchup in the top lane.
This matchup is actually very interesting too. The tankiness does keep the Shyvana alive. I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least a Bork to combo off the percent damage from the Shyvana E, which can really whittle away at the Ornn. Obviously, as we've talked about all night, the name of the game is Bramblevest. It just defeats top lane. Like, if you're a tank and you're in the top lane, you're building a Bramblevest because you're not playing against Malzahar, you're playing against AD carries.
Yeah, that's right. But that would be really interesting if that's what they're expecting here, and Balls just goes AP Shyvana. Even though that's definitely not the idea in this scenario. Because I think it would be interesting, like, post 6, but Balls probably won't get to... Once this Ornn gets, like, an item or two, probably won't be able to actually be able to blow up this Ornn, so I don't think there's a point.
Yeah, I mean, it would really kind of confuse the itemization from the Ornn, because right now he's thinking, alright, first item, I gotta build a Bramblevest. Second item, I gotta build a Sunfire Cape. But then all of a sudden, like, you know, Shyvana comes back to lane with a Blasting Wand, and you're like, oh no, I spent 1,000 gold to defeat the Master Yi, and it's not even in my lane yet.
Yeah, hey man, it's nice to at least get ahead of the game here. Speaking of, we're going to see some early trades already topside. The Galio was looking for a roam, but Challen ops back, just going to walk back to the lane.
And so this is another interesting matchup from Shalon, right? Last game, he played the Vladimir into the Silas. This time, it's the Galio into the Kassadin. Seemingly, you know, a winnable matchup, a winning matchup. And, you know, we can already see early on, bit of a CS lead, but I mean, does it stay that way? That's unfortunate. Balls is going to end up surviving by the skin of his teeth. Had the knockup happened, definitely would have gone down. Man, actual skin of teeth. Less than 20 HP there, surviving in the top side. That hurts for Reese's, who could have had first blood.
Yeah, that is terrifying. But real quick, back to just look at the mid lane, like you were talking about. Actually, we're seeing a skirmish bot side.
Yeah, cleanse being blown early. Truxmain really didn't want to be in that situation. Shalon forcing Weak Sauce out of lane as well. Balls TPing back to lane without full HP. What is this madness? This game is already all over the place.
And this is what I'm talking about. Challen is really just bullying Weak Sauce as the CS lead. Now has an XP lead as well. And to answer your question, Doctor, yeah, he's going to get further ahead. Because, again, Galio is pretty good at bullying mages. And among mages pre-6, Kassadin's probably one of the worst ones. So it's going to be really easy to put Weak Sauce Jr. behind. But he's got to weather that storm, not give up any kills, and try to just get as much CS as he can manage here until he comes online.
And you and I were talking about it in the freeze time between the champ select and the game. We were talking about the Sonaterra and, you know, what actually works. Actually, we talked about it in champ select too. About it. Because how does it work, right? It used to be that both teams built a support item. Right now, only Sona has a support item. Flash out of Shalon did not want to have to deal with that awkward situation. But yeah, Sona didn't pick a support item, went the Doran's Ring, and is just farming like a carry would.
Yeah, that's right, and that's just the situation they want to go with here. It's probably going to start building some AP items to try, you know, Truxmain can do a little bit of magic damage. It'll probably be obnoxious enough with the sustain offered from BB here on the Tarek with the abilities, all the utility. This is just a safe farm lane, really, for the side of Team World Class Blue. And now the dragon coming up, or excuse me, dragon's already up. You gotta start looking for it.
Balls is definitely on the worst end of these trades. Ruby Crystal completed for Reese's Pieces. Grasp proc once again. Percent health damage, only making the tank tankier. And you kind of have to feel for Balls. Which actually, now that I think about it, this might be before your time, but does anybody in chat remember when C9 Balls played Shyvana top lane in like Season 3 Worlds, I want to say?
Yeah.
Am I a boomer for remembering
You are
these?
definitely, you are a League of Legends boomer. I'm sorry, Doctor.
I mean, I guess I'll accept it, but... Alright, Dragon goes down. Cloud Drake in favor of World Class Blue.
Yeah, not all that surprising here. World Class Blue, OutKast, excuse me. They have this fall composition. Yee's job is to farm. That's it. So I think pre-6, I don't imagine we're gonna see Electrify House try to contest any of the dragons. Balls though.
Going in, does get the dash out from Reese's Pieces. Is just gonna trade ultimate for a normal cooldown. But this is one of the ultimates that is only kind of time gated, right? Every time you auto attack, you get to keep it basically shorten the cooldown, if you think about it that way. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that is one of the few abilities you can simply just use off cooldown, and these flame breaths are chunking Reese's. Holy moly.
Yeah, already quite a bit of damage early with those double longswords. It's gonna allow Balls to shove the wave into the tower, and we're gonna see actually Thatton go for the back. Has a little gold to spend, and is very likely gonna make his way topside to try to put some pressure onto Balls here on the Shyvana.
I mean, yeah, you cannot let this lane get out of hand. The double longsword start, probably going into a Cutlass on next back. 1400 in the bank. You see Master Yi moving into Scuttle territory. And yeah, Phaeton also moving his way up top.
Oh, but look, he went over the wall.
Here comes Call the Forge God, is going to get connected on both ends. Balls now trying to trade one for one. The knockup though. First blood to Phaeton on the Graves. Disaster has struck in Dragonland.
Yeah, just a little bit. However, this is more gonna, because the Ornn didn't get the kill, it isn't a whole lot of money in Reese's Pieces pockets. Just gets that little bit of pocket change for the assist. Balls, still 14 CS ahead. Early games with really short timers, so it's gonna be fine here. Oh no, the Galio ult.
Gets the knockup! The ultimate from Electrified House coming out as well. And maybe get a kill, gets an assist onto Reese's Pieces, trying to stay alive. Weak Sauce Jr. though wants blood. Gonna get it with the Rift Walk, and now Shalon is in for a world of double-sided hurt. He's gonna go down. Phaeton picking up his second kill of the game. And Weak Sauce Jr. is now accelerated on the Kassadin.
And that is a detrimental situation here for OutKast. You want to keep the Kassadin at bay. Now he's got a kill, has that blue buff, even has the red that he ended up stealing from Electrify's House. And now here's the thing too, that was a really risky play there from Electrify House. Really didn't end up paying off there in the end.
Big engagement here in the bottom side. So much healing already coming through. But I do like the decision from ADC in 2020 to first item buy a Grievous Wounds. You don't see it often, and by often I mean you never see it, but you definitely don't hate to see it.
No, not in this situation with the Sona healing available. You definitely want to make it harder, or make it easier for yourself to pressure this, for lack of a better word, obnoxious bot lane here. So it is a good call to buy Executioners on the first back. And overall here, you're just farming happy if you're the bot lane for the side of Team World Class Blue here.
Alright, so I talked about Shyvana going for the Blade of the Ruined King first because in my small, pea-sized brain, double longsword doesn't build into anything else. However, Shyvana decided to go back and pick up a Caulfield's Warhammer and a Kindle Gem, which builds into...
Black Cleaver, I want to say?
No, Black Cleaver's Phage Kindle Gem. Is it the new Death's Dance?
Oh, it might be.
Because I know it builds out of Aegis and something. No, it's pickaxe, so it's not Caulfield's. Chat, help me out. You got to do something more than flame me.
No, it is Caulfield's. It is Caulfield's vampiric staff and Aegis. You're right. But with the Kindle gem, it might just be building it for Aegis. That's it.
Big engage here in the mid lane. Weak Sauce Jr. cut down to half from just a few abilities. But he still has that blue buff, which means he gets to just spam Rift Walk. No, it's gone. Never mind. The game trolled me. The game has trolled me. But, alright, Dragon spawning in 5 seconds. It is an Earth Drake, which means we're either going to get a Ocean Soul or Infernal Soul, which means I'm probably going to be talking a lot tonight, because those both mean go, go, go.
Yeah, they really do here. So now here's the thing with a lot of pressure mid lane and so much pressure in the bot lane. This Drake's going to be largely uncontested here by OutKast. They want to make their way in, but it's going to be tough. It looks like they're getting a lot of damage on it. Yeah, with the smite, Master Yi's not even there. Nothing's going to happen, but they actually look like they might want to fight here. We're going to see the flash here in the crescendo.
Into the alpha, and there is the ultimate stun from Master Yi, but he is constantly stunned afterwards. Big 3-man call the Horn. Double kill for Misfortune already. Graves getting in on the action. BB, one of the only ones left alive. Balls forced to run away. Dragon Tail between the legs. Flash Blast plant just to stay alive. But all in all, a 3-for-1 in favor of World Class Blue. And that is not what you want to see as the scaling team.
Not at all, and honestly, a really good play there from Kitty Lexa. Like you said, Electrify House getting CC after CC after getting the Alpha Strike with the Taric stun off. It really was no way he was going to survive in that situation. Really good play there from the Leona. So now that's going to be 2 Drakes here for World Class Blue. And I got to say, Doctor, this is starting a lot like it did in the last matchup. 2 Drakes down. No ability for OutKast to really contest any of the dragons. It's gonna be the only thing that would really make this a mirror is that if OutKast actually managed to take the first Rift Herald, which honestly I think they should have gone for, because they should have known Dragon was out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like this engage is about to go down. Kitty Lexa getting the Shining Slash in. The channel coming out though. That looked really weird. I don't know what the director's camera thought was happening, but it definitely wasn't what actually happened. But Shalon able to get away. I wonder if he actually stole red buff. That would be pretty troll. He did not take the red buff away from his jungler. But going back to your point about the engage now on the top side, this is the Bramble Vest Ornn, which means he really shouldn't die. I gotta be honest with you. I don't see a world where Shyvana can kill Ornn unless you just keep sniping him out with these fires like that. Again, the game just spiting me. But Electrify House once again spending time in the enemy jungle, forced to blow the Highlander away, but now Balls silenced, knocked up, slowed up, dead up, dying once again to Weak Sauce Jr. 2-0-1 on the Kassadin. And another situation where we get the AP mid laner feeling so far ahead.
Yeah, and this is going to be really tough too. Weak Sauce getting these kills has already built the Rod of Ages. It is becoming stronger and stronger by the minute. And as these levels go on, as he's getting closer to level 11 and then 16, it's so easy for this Kassadin to roam. Because look how, you're going to see how often he'll be able to Rift Walk with the cooldown, with the eventual cooldown reduction that's going to be applied here. And it's going to be a real problem going into late game. We see a lot of first items have been built now pretty much across the board, except for Balls, who actually went for Lucid Boots immediately.
Just maxed cooldown.
Oh, and you know what? Actually, no, I'm still a little confused about this item build path. I don't really know what Balls is going for here. It might actually be Death Dance, just because you see Vampiric Scepter is there, Caulfield's Warhammer is there.
So he's effectively going for as much cooldown reduction as quickly as possible, in order to get the most ultimates, to get the most Dragon Flame, to get the most all of it really. and so he's sacrificing completing an item to get that cooldown reduction. But I mean, like you said, talking about this gank once again in the mid lane, the channel gonna go out, gonna get 2 stunned up. Wake Flash away from Thayton. Did not want to play the Electric Boogaloo with Electric House, but I'm still trying to bring up this point. You talked about how they should have traded the Herald for the Dragon, and I gotta be more honest. I gotta be honest with you, I definitely agree. This composition for the Master Yi should not be engaging with the enemy team before like 25-30 minutes. They should be trying to PvE this out. They gotta send their $15 a month subscription over to Riot Games to make sure that they keep it going before they really hit the raid style.
Yeah, that's right. Although at this point in time, even though I agree with you, they gotta at least try to set up some vision around this Drake for OutKast. Again, I talked about it in the previous game in this series. Getting that 3rd dragon is so much pressure for your team. Now that you have 3, every dragon is soul point. Means the enemy team, it's like, okay, we have to contest every dragon from now on. So you want to give yourself some kind of buffer. And now we're seeing a bit of vision clear for the side of OutKast. They're trying to set themselves up and go for this dragon because they understand they have to go for it too.
Shala just walking right through Reese's Pieces for some reason. He did know he was on vision, so he just thought that he could get away with that. Balls, though, trying to be a little cheeky. Gonna miss his E on Weak Sauce Jr., who walked straight at him. The Ornhorn coming out, gonna be able to connect onto 2. And that is just going to force them away from the dragon. 2,000 HP left. There comes the engage. Here comes the ultimate from everybody. Blue team going to secure the dragon. Shalon stunned up. Is going to throw down the ultimate, but not able to get out in time. The fight is continuing on. Reese's Pieces getting in the fight. Junior gets obliterated. And so now the rest of the fight is up to Balls. He's going to get a double kill in the dragon's name. Can he get any more? The answer is no, because D10 has gone unstoppable. Balls and Trucks Main's the only one surviving. Thaytan surviving with sub 50 HP. That could have been the quadra kill for Balls, but the flash was just too safe.
And so this is a really not the greatest fight too for OutKast to take here. They end up getting a lot more gold into the Shyvana, who's probably going to start completing items at this point. I imagine probably going for Death's Dance first.
You'd like to hope so. I mean, 1,800 gold in the bank.
Yeah, just sitting on it. I think they can complete. Yeah, there it is. We got it. So Death's Dance complete. Balls pretty strong right now, but still, this Electrified dying so often is actually really detrimental to his team because he's behind in farm, he's definitely behind in kills, and he's behind in levels. So this funnel so far isn't really succeeding at the moment. Now we're gonna see Herald drop top, and that's very likely gonna be it's likely gonna be the tower.
Actually, they are forced back. They do have the engage coming from Shalon. Big 3-man taunt. Electrified House, though, trying to get an opportunity to go in. Forced out once again. Stunned up all day long by Kitty Lightfoot. Balls is in the back line, just throwing down Dragon Flame. Is now being chased away by Weak Sauce on the Void. Reaper is going to get healed up. Stun not going to connect from BB. And everybody's still alive. Healing up a little bit. Balls just breathing flame. That's spitting that hot mixtape. But unfortunately, it's not a good one. It's your boys from downtown. Electric House, he's the Master Yi. He really shouldn't be frontlining this fight, to be honest with you. He's gonna alpha strike in. The stun not gonna connect this. Big engage countered up in time. Thayton dominating another kill onto the Master Yi, and everybody shortly behind him. Trucksman's gonna get one, but another double kill for Thayton, and a double in favor of World Class Blue.
A double, Doctor. That sounded awfully Canadian of you, I gotta say.
Is that a thing in Canada?
It's actually what Tim Hortons. It's a coffee. It's a kind of coffee.
Oh. See, yeah. I think double, and I think basketball. I don't like basketball, but I know that a triple-double is a thing.
No,
so
triple-double is also a thing. No, you're right. I like basketball. How did I not put that together, too?
It's the Timmy Hortons. It's deeply ingrained.
It is, honestly. It's in my DNA at this point. But honestly, that fight, you gotta give credit to Reese's Pieces. He landed a huge double knock up there before losing his life and allowed, again, Thaytan to just keep getting these kills. And now
Oh, no.
he is, oh my god, you gotta be
Oh,
kidding
no.
me. Where are you going?
Help?
Oh, he's begging for help.
Shyvana balls.
Nah, he's out. He's just gonna rip block.
Balls was just like, yeah, hold on, I gotta get this minion. Hold on, I got you. Don't run away. I got you. Keep fighting him. I got it. And then Weak Sauce Jr.'s like, hello? Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah, that about sums it up, and I think we're getting really close to the point of no return here. I gotta say, Weak Sauce has built up 8 stacks on that Rod of Ages. He's so strong right now. Electrified is 2 levels behind of Thaytan, which again, in this final composition, is not acceptable at this point. We're 20 minutes into the game. Baron's gonna go down to Team World Class Blue, and you gotta imagine they take a deep run into OutKast side of the map here.
So this is actually on Vision. Oh, no, it's not. I was gonna say, I don't think that ward's canceled, but the control ward is indeed. But just in time, they get some vision to see the big purple worm go down. Shalon trying to get something for his team, being down in that bot lane. Gonna get the first tower for his team.
Wow, yeah, that's actually not a whole lot of towers have even gone down at this point. It's 1 tower apiece at the moment, or excuse me, that was actually that's 2 for Team World Class Blue. It's probably going to be a lot more now that they've gotten the Baron buff to work with here. And now you can see a lot of Team World Class Blue had some money in the bank, have back started completing some items. We're seeing the Sunfire Cape on the Ornn, Black Cleaver on...
False is on a ward. What is happening?
He just doesn't care.
Pretty interesting back timing from Shalon. He is going to be forced to burn the teleport to be in range before the dragon dies, because it's pretty close. I'm going to hit the Z key for Joe. Call of the Ornhorn going to come in. Let's get a 2-man knock up. Dragon has gone down in favor of World Class Blue. Another 2-man knock up in favor of World Class Blue. Reese's Piece is finally going to get on. But everybody is going down. They can't just running it down. Gets 1, 2. There's only Shalon in the background. Double kill for Weak Sauce Jr. Double kill for Thaytan again with the double-double. This man is just balling out of control. And with the Baron and the Ocean Soul, they are going to be able to push on through the mid lane. Shortly going to be getting an inhibitor, I have to believe.
Yeah, that's right. With about, I believe if my math is correct, a little over a minute left on this Baron buff. They have another wave heading towards them as well. So really hard to imagine they don't get it done. Not only that, you see that ADC in 2020 is also going for that tier 2 on the bottom side, and it looks like nobody from Team World Class Blue is in a position to punish because they want to prevent this inhibitor from going down. That is their priority right now.
I'd say their priority should be keeping the Master Yi alive. The stat stick is not getting up there, really.
At this point, it's balls, let's be honest.
Balls is the stat stick. Man, I don't even know about that. Sitting at 3-3 and 1. I don't know. I feel like when you stick the meter stick next to your kid and you're trying to see how tall they've gotten, I feel like right now Electric House is the kid that shrinks.
And it's really unfortunate when he needs to be growing at this moment, and not quite the case here. He's got the Berserker Greaves, he's got the Storm, the Blood Razor, excuse me. I mean, that's really it. He's starting to catch up a little bit in farm, but he's so many kills down. Look at his opposing jungler. 2 levels ahead of him. So many XP, so much XP from those kills that he got, and the fact that he's ahead in farm. This Graves is so strong right now. Actually looking to build Death Dance of his own as a 3rd item, so he's just going to be even stronger and so much more of a bully. I hate to say it, Doctor. Again, like in the last game, OutKast are faced with this predicament. They have to display a supreme amount of talent or they're gonna lose this game.
And unfortunately they are missing the Kiana in the draft phase. But I mean, this Death Dance, it's such a good item now. Like the changes that they made to it make it so good for so many champions. And I have to say the best thing about it is now how many people build Executioner's Calling.
and we get to stop hearing people complain about Relevant cost. But Balls is definitely going to be complaining about this engage. He's forced out. Here comes Shalon into the deep side of the team. Get two-man on, come two-man concept. And so now it is all up to his teammates to get the damage down. Electrified House gets one before going down. Weak Sauce Jr. godlike. Going to be picking up more and more. Triple kill for him. Going to go for the quadra kill. Do they give it to him? The answer is no. 80 carry in 2020 with the fat KS. Double kill for him. Double inhibitor going to be going down. And I have to imagine that that is going to be the game with the minion wave available down in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's right. 2 inhibs down. Nexus turret's about to fall. And look at these timers, Doctor. That is going to be it. That's game 2 here. Team World Class Blue are going to go up 2-0 in the series right now. OutKast seem just helpless to stop them.
Really unfortunate there. I am so glad the Travi Buckbot did not take my bet early on in the game, but I did lose a little bit game 1. But now, game 2 again solidly in World Class Blues favor. But it all is on the back of Thaytan. That Graves was everywhere. There was no situation that he found himself in that he could not shotgun his way out of. It's like being in a frat house all over again.
Very true. And yeah, that's what it really comes down to here. When you play this composition on the side of OutKast, you as much as it just hurts to watch and draft and hurts to like just be a part of, they wanted to funnel this Yi, make him unkillable, but they just never got there. The timer didn't get to run out for them, and unfortunately, it turns out Thaytan ended up having a little timer of his own, managing to farm up to be super strong, and his scoreline says it all, 9-0-8. But I also want to highlight Weak Sauce was doing a really good job at isolating Electrify House. I gotta say, out of 9 kills, I think like 5 or 6 of them have to be Electrify House. Every team fight, first thing he does, Rift walks in, absolutely blows him up. Because again, he knows what OutKast are trying to do as well.
Yeah, and I mean, one more thing to point out about Thaytan is his amount of CS. 178 minion kills, 67 more than his top laner, who had a 86% kill participation, 22 out of 24. It's basically 75. Wait, I gotta stop doing math on broadcast. It's
dude,
not good.
I'm telling you, it never really works out. It's just never a good idea.
But I mean, 67 CS more than your top laner is unheard of as a jungler, especially in the current meta where you're just ganking day in and day out, being on the grind. But I gotta ask you once again. Game 1, solid drafts from both teams. Game 2, we get a solid draft from one team. As we're heading into game 3, are there any expectations left for the draft phase?
I want to say yes, because I'm sure OutKast have kind of woken up and realized, yo, all right, we had a lot of fun here with this funnel composition. Let's do a real draft during the next game, and then maybe they start to make a comeback. The reverse sweep is still possible. It is really tough to convince me that it's going to happen after those first 2 games. But hey, man, I've seen bigger comebacks.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all before. Pace this creep for the reverse sweep. You saw it first, folks. But for now, we are going to be taking a short break as we prepare mentally and hopefully recover. We're going to hit some therapy real quick. As we head into game 3, folks, I am so excited because this is do or die time for Team OutKast. They have to bring all the pieces, all the collective knowledge, 200 years of game design have to come out right now. But stay tuned, folks. We're going to be right back with even more Rampage Premade finals coming at you soon.